Welcome back to Squelch, the Video Game Book Club. I'm Dano.
I'm still mad at ours.
And I'm Storm Rage. And we're here to remind you that Dragon Age, the Veilguard is the game, and the games are supposed to be the fun.
The week, we are playing through the companion quest for Emmrich and Taash. Next week, we are playing through the main quest, Beast Tales, and then the companion quests for Davrin and Bellara.
Yeah. Beast Tales. Ooh.
Objection! 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 Oh, objection! 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 Objection!
Thank you so much, Dano. I do have an objection for this episode.
Okay, please.
Last week, we talked about Dragon Age for a good solid while. This week, I imagine we will do the same. Next week, hopefully, we will continue to do so. But there hasn't been an episode, and I don't think that there should be, but I'm still going to object because I know you pressed the bumper for a different reason, not knowing that I'd speak right here. Or maybe you did. Maybe you're a genius who could see into the future approximately 10 seconds, and that's led to superhuman beliefs in one way or another. I just want a time where I can talk about all the silly side quests. I want all of the different side quests because I've done all of them. I've completed everything. I've done all of the quests in this game, and they're so flippin' good.
I have no notes, and I think we should definitely do that. I thought it would be funny to do an objection here, and then could not think of one, so you truly saved the day, not gonna lie. So
I like that you hit the button and went, I'll figure it out before the end of this.
I was like, I've got time. This drop takes forever. I'll figure it out. And then, like, nothing.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
Thank.
A special thank you to our patrons, a special thank you to our Twitch subs, and a special thank you to our YouTube listener, Clyde. Your support keeps this podcast ticking. If you want to support the show, head over to twitch.tv/DanoPlay or patreon.com/squelch. Over at twitch.tv/DanoPlay, you can use some of Jeff Bezos' money to give us money. So if you want to do that, you can. If you're not using it, you can do that if you want, because he has too much money. Like, way too much money. Just
that is true.
Ridiculous amounts of money. It won't put a dent into it, but it makes you feel better.
This one's a real page turner.
We're getting near to the end, so you probably know what's going on. But if your memory needs a mend, then let's recap after I sing this song.
The story so far. We have a group of adventurers who have come together to try and take down the evil elven gods Elgernon and Gillenane. Last week, the group got a lead on where the elven gods were going to be doing their final ritual, and also shut down the governor of Treviso, who was working alongside the Antom, the jerk.
That's a bit of a mess up. We didn't actually cover that. If you save Treviso, you can go take out the governor. And it's a fine quest. It's pretty fun. But I think it's only available if you save Treviso. And I thought that those were the same quest line when I originally wrote this.
Yeah.
They are not. They are different quests than what we talked about last week.
Because
so oopsies.
If you save Treviso, you get this quest. If you save Minrathous, you get the Archon quest that Dan did.
Yep.
Oh. But didn't I kill the mayor though, or the governor, or whatever?
Oh yeah, you're right. There's a different outcome because it doesn't matter. The thing that matters here is that this is a quest that will present differently depending on whether or not you've saved. It is not a quest we talked about last week, so if you're thinking, did they cover that? No. Very briefly, we've killed the governor of Treviso at this point. Sure.
Yeah,
I
they
like how we
covered.
figured this out now in the second episode we're recording tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we figured it out, I mean, and then corrected ourselves. That just makes us good people.
I knew
Yeah.
him as soulless, smart, thoughtful, loved to hear himself talk. But long ago, he had a different name. The Dreadwolf. Ancient elven god of lies, or heroic rebel against tyranny, depending on which story you believe.
Let's talk about some companion quests. And I want to first talk about Emmrich because I think Emmrich's quest line is my favorite quest line out of all of the companions. I think it is beautiful. I think it has a very good combination of like very serious philosophical questions with an appropriate amount of levity, with like kind of seriousness behind things. I think it's just beautifully done all around. But to kind of quickly recap with Emmrich before we get to the quest we're getting to this week, Emmrich is our necromancer friend who desperately wants to become a lich and attain eternal life, and he is relatively close to it. Yes, Stano.
Can we talk about the insane lore they dropped with how liches work in this game? So
Yeah, do you want to rip it?
Yeah, so Emmrich just kind of drops this on us that a lich in the world of Dragon Age is a necromancer who has managed to gain eternal life for all sets. They basically become an undead being and get to live with their memories and their thoughts, and they remain who they are with like most of their senses intact, some of their senses kind of dulling, some of them growing stronger, but they remain who they are and what they are. They just are themselves forever.
Yep.
Which is insane because we've killed a number of these things in other games.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's the softer side. It's like these are nice liches.
I mean,
There
I can buy
is-
it. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense lore-wise. I just think it's
Yeah.
kind of like funny to think that like, oh,
No,
because
it's
like
great.
also the liches are crazy powerful too, so it makes sense.
Yes.
Like some of the hardest like bosses in Inquisition were liches. So, because they had that crazy green laser thing they do. It's like,
Yeah.
Wait, ever could have got a green laser?
I think he will have a green laser if he becomes a lich. I haven't finished this quest yet, so I don't know.
Well, only one way to find out. Let's continue on, shall we?
I thought you were gonna make a joke about me not paying attention, then playing it later.
No,
Well, that's
I made
next
that
week's
joke
episode.
last week.
That's next week's episode. What are we talking about? It'll be recorded
Now-
like on Wednesday.
Now, whether you remember it because I talked about it or you remember it because you had to experience it yourself, Emmrich does have a former friend and colleague by the name of Hezenkos who has created this lantern of like necromantic power that has kind of captured a bunch of souls that has an immense amount of power within itself, and we need to take her down because she is bad news bears and we don't know exactly what she's going to do with it, but it cannot be good. So what's she gonna do? Hezenkos is throwing a party. That's right, she's throwing a big old party for some of the biggest, most powerful mages in all of Thedas. And at one point we ask Emmrich, we're like, why would anybody show up to this? Everybody knows she's crazy. And he goes, yeah, but she's just crazy enough that you're probably saying yes to an invitation because she's not the kind of person to throw a party. And these mages are powerful enough that they think they can defend themselves and curious enough to get themselves in trouble. Yes, Dano?
Having the bad guy on a quest throw a party is one of the most BioWare things ever. It's like, hey,
Yes,
how should we
yes,
wrap
it
this
is.
quest up? I know. How about a little bash?
Party time!
Everyone loves a little party, right? I think we should have a little
Yeah.
party.
It's economical. You can reuse the same sets. It's good.
So, Hezekiah is throwing a party, and our job is to infiltrate and find out what is happening with that lantern. But she knows what we look like, and as a result, it's difficult for us to blend in. So what do? We send Manfred to go in and blend in and spy on the guests, and maybe he'll be able to find us some information. For a brief moment, I thought that I was going to get to play as Manfred in this game, and I got so excited. You can't. I'm very sorry. I wanted to rip that Band-Aid off because it kind of sets it up like maybe you could. You
Oh,
can't,
man.
and it was perhaps the biggest bummer of the entire game.
What
Uh,
if instead of
this is why
abilities, we got to just use his different speeches? So it's like his
His different hisses.
yes.
No, like the fact we didn't have like a stealth section with Manfred is just like it's just. I want like the stealth like rickety guy with a bone. With like
Yeah.
Okay, this is our not so good. So I just want like we have a
You know
different
what?
not so good lined up, but like just know this is the of the game. This is
Yeah.
the not so good, and this is why people don't like it.
Yep, this makes a lot of sense. This
100%.
makes a lot of sense.
Check-
yeah,
out.
no Manfred stealth section. You know, just
It would have been so good.
So Manfred is perfect and amazing and has never done anything wrong in his entire life. So he sneaks in and we don't end up getting any super useful information. Yes, Dano.
His unlife.
Thank you so much. What a great point. We do some investigating and we find a location that we believe the lantern is being used at. And if the lantern is used, we believe that it will drain the life of every person at that party. So we move our way through. We get to where we think we need to be, at least step number 1. But don't you know, the door is locked. But thankfully, Manfred has a key. Where did he get the key? Don't ask Manfred. Manfred just does things because he is perfect and the best out of every special boy that has ever been. Yes,
I mean
Matt?
he got it in that cell section they cut.
Oh,
That's a great point. Yep. We need to talk to a corpse that is related to Hezekiah in order to find out what she is planning. We bring the corpse back to life, and the corpse doesn't want to talk to us. And then the corpse sees that Manfred is willingly working with us and not being forced or captive, and instead goes, okay, yeah, I'll help you guys out. So she helps us on out and tells us where we can find Hezekiah. When we do find Hezekiah, she has created this massive golem that she is planning to use. We believe that she is going to use the lantern to animate the golem, but she corrects us that she is going to use the lantern in order to implant herself in the golem, kind of making herself a demi-lich of sorts, going around the typical lich formats because she failed to become a lich previously. So this is kind of her repentance or second try or
workaround. Gonna jerry rig herself into a lich somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Matt?
You forget to mention that at this point, Manfred starts saying actual words.
I didn't know that was here. I knew that was at some place. I couldn't remember the exact placement. Manfred does begin to say things like yes and no. They're very simple words, but they are... Oh, the second he started speaking, my heart got so excited. Manfred, best Fred.
Always down for a game of rock, paper, scissors.
So we have this giant problem. Massive golem could destroy a lot of things, if not a lot of the Fade, could do massive, massive damage throughout all of Thedas. We need to take it down. Emmrich goes to the lantern and tries to release some of the souls, but it's too much. And he is afraid that if he tries, he's going to die and also be unsuccessful. So we fight and we do our best and we take down a lot of the undead that she summons and we do some damage to the golem, but it's ultimately not enough. We are captured by necromantic energies. We cannot do it. And we ask Emmrich if he can do it. He says, I don't think so. Who can? Manfred! Manfred, because he is not living, is not affected the same way that Emmrich is with regards to opening and releasing the lantern. So Manfred goes to the lantern, lets loose all of the spirits, even though doing so ends up killing him. Manfred dies, saving us. Hezenkos is eventually killed by the spirits that were trapped in the lantern, and we quickly scoop up Manfred, having already saved the day, and head to the necropolis to try and resurrect him. Emmrich asks a lich if it can be done. The lich says yes, but if we save Manfred, it means that Emmrich has to give up on being a lich, because this would show, if he tries to save Manfred, that is an indication that he has too much connection to those around him. And while the rules of life or death can be broken, it shouldn't be broken because of your own personal wishes. It should be decided by outside factors. And at this point, we get to decide whether or not we save Manfred or we have Emmrich go on to become a lich. Matt, how quickly did you save Manfred?
I slammed that option as fast as possible.
There's never been a faster decision in my entire life than choosing to save Manfred. No, not a choice. Not a choice to be done.
Who else am I going to play rock, paper, scissors with the lantern?
He
lighthouse.
is perfect and the best. And so if we do the correct thing and save Manfred, then we go back to the necropolis where we meet a couple of spirits who help us bring Manfred back to life. And Manfred roars back to life after the ritual and can also say a few more words and can now use magic, apparently. Yay! Good Manfred! Best Manfred! Emmrich decides that he's going to teach Manfred how to speak properly and also how to use magic. Rook asks Emmrich how he feels about giving up immortality. Emmrich says that while he is sad about giving up lichdom, he looks over at Manfred and smiles, and you can feel like his voice crack a little bit, and he says he wouldn't trade this for anything. If you instead let Manfred stay dead, I don't know what happens, and I refuse to believe that that is a real choice, and I'm not even going to give up a summary, and I'm not even going to look at the Wikipedia, because that's insane.
It is. I mean, it would be a pretty crazy choice. I feel like I have to do it now. I'm not going to.
You can't.
No, it's impossible.
I could never because he's so fun.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Emmerich's quests. Emmrich altogether is probably one of my favorite characters in this game.
Yeah.
His companion quests are the best by far. There's so much heart. They're silly and a bit over the top, but I love it. And but it's like done in a heartfelt way, and it's so wonderful. And yeah, Emmrich is the best.
I also do want to, because I did talk to a friend about this quest line. Hi, Raven. And he was like, well, I chose to have him become a lich because I'm planning on going back through and doing another playthrough. I get that if you want to just see what's on both sides. But if you're going to do one playthrough, you better save Manfred, because Manfred, best Fred. And that scene where Emmrich, like, the voice acting is so good. I think it's some of the best writing in it. It's really, really simple, but it's so beautifully done. And like the care that he has for Manfred, the pride that he has in Manfred is just, it's phenomenal. And it's been one of my favorite moments in the entire series.
I look forward to doing this quest. I'm actually just starting it right now. So
Spoiler alert.
just started it, and then I couldn't finish it because we had a bunch of stuff come up, and then so it didn't happen. But I look forward to it. It sounds like fun.
It's a bit of a long quest, but it's worth it. It's good.
100%. Should we talk about Taash?
Yes.
Fantastic. Taash is our fire-breathing Qunari and dragon hunter who, as part of our questline to get to know them better, has really struggled with their identity and has come out as non-binary. And their relationship with their mother is tense. Taash has helped us find a number of dragons, and has also helped us find out that the Antom have been blighting dragons for the Yevaniris in order for them to become archdemons. Uh-oh. Taash's mom sends us a message. She wants to talk to us about this tablet. It's an ancient Qunari tablet that they've been trying to decipher for quite some time. When we go to meet with Taash's mom, she's gone, and clearly signs of a struggle. We also find out that the tablet contains secrets of the fire-breathing Qunari, which Taash is. We go and ask Isabella for help, and thanks to her help, we find out that Tasha's mom was taken, and she was betrayed by a different Kunari called Cutter. How great is Isabella, by the way? I am so glad that she is back. We talked about this a little bit this last week, and it's crazy to me that there are not more other characters, because some characters are mentioned, some are just like completely left out. There was a book that I swear referenced Sten that was sitting out from the Dragon Age Origins, in case anybody's having a difficult time remembering where that name came from, the Kunari that we first met that's just a human dude, and then they figured out the design for Kunari later, thankfully. But like, I was looking at some of the old companions, and it's such a bummer that there's not more of them later on. Like, why is Liliana nowhere to be found? Why is sure, I believe that, but like nowhere.
Are you really gonna have the Chantry Pope show up and just at random? I don't know.
Well, like,
I mean, no.
So Cassandra gets a brief mention. No, I don't think she's. So I don't think either. So I think I don't believe Cassandra's mentioned. I don't believe Liliana is mentioned, and I don't believe that Vivian is mentioned, because all three of them could have become Lady Pope. And so I don't think they took a stand on that. So they just kind of get left behind, even though, like, Vivian's she's not a big character, I feel like. But, like, Cassandra and Liliana, you could argue she's the main character of the game. She's the R2-D2. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they mentioned Blackwall at one point, for Pete's sakes. They mentioned Cole. They don't bring up Sarah at all. They don't bring up Iron Bull for some crazy reason.
And then, like, other Dragon Age 2 characters that we haven't seen or heard referenced at all. Like, Anders isn't really mentioned. Aveline, Hawk, who could be alive or not, mentioned. Depending on this.
Aveline is mentioned. She is now she's now leading Kirkwall. So
after she's the Viking. After Varric left.
Yeah.
Leading Kirkwall.
That makes sense. That is good to know.
Aveline's Viscount
but then
now.
There's Fenris and MERRIL, who I don't think have any mention. All of whom would work so. Fenris, the anti-slavery elf, who now has to deal with the like there's so much there. Why is he not back?
Yeah,
the other sad boy. There's too many sad boys in this game, and
there's never too many. There's never too many. I can fix all of them. Okay. Anyway, continuing on. We start killing all of the Antom that are on the trail in order to find Cutter. And we have figured out that Tasha's mom was taken by the Dragon King for some reason likely to do with the tablet. We head into Shark's Mouth lava caves, and they are terrifying and awesome, and it's one of my favorite locations that we've gone to so far. And we kill a bunch of Kunari, and we finally get to kill Cutter, who stole Tasha's mom in the hopes that they could become a fire-breathing Kunari, and blah, 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 typical villain reasons. Yes, Dano.
Super fun fight, though, right? The Cutter fight?
Really fun fight, actually, yeah.
Really insanely fun fight. Like, he's a dual-wielding warrior, and he has this, what's the word? Like, a teleport ability, where he'll, move to one part of the map, and then he'll attack you when he lands, and then also has a really cool block. Really good fight. A lot of movement, like a ton of movement for a character. Really sneaky good fight. Really had a fun time with this one.
100% agreed. I thought that there were some really, really fun combats in this quest line. We continue on doing a bunch of puzzles and things in order to try and find Tasha's mom. So we continue on until we are eventually trapped. A giant steel frame drops on top of us. Seems like we're probably gonna die. There is no way out for us. We see Tasha's mom, she is held captive by the Dragon King. The Dragon King mocks the phrase Chakra to Ebra, which is the phrase that we have heard many, many times throughout, as it is related to kind of the Kunari culture. And I want to make sure that I get kind of the So the phrase translates to, through struggle, you find what you are. And we, and specifically like through Taash's eyes, have identified that as like it is important and good to struggle for the sake of struggling. And Taash was really frustrated and is really frustrated by that concept. Taash's mother finally clarifies what she means by it. She isn't saying that one must struggle with what they are, but rather by the process of struggle, you get to find who you are. And then once you find yourself, that struggle is now worth it. Taash's mother then asks Rook to keep them safe, which is one of the first times we have heard Taash's mother use the proper pronouns for Taash, a sign of acceptance for who their child has become. Taash's mother throws herself against the lever, breaking open the cage, and the Dragon King immediately snaps her neck, killing her. Time for vengeance! We go and we kill another dragon fight. Excellent! We then go and kill the Dragon King. It's wonderful. 2 great fights back to back. And the cavern starts to collapse and come in down around us. Taash tries to save their mother, but it's too late. She's already gone. Rook pulls Taash off of their mother's body, and they make it out safely. We talk with Taash after the quest and can give them one last suggestion to either embrace Qunari culture or Raveni culture. Later on, we get word that someone has more information about this secret tablet about these fire-breathing Qunari. We go back to where Taash's mother was kind of stationed and where Taash grew up. And there's also Karash, who's a Qunari that we haven't really mentioned, but it's kind of a side character in Taash's backstory, who is a storm predictor and can like smell and hear when storms are coming. Really cool concept for a culture that is based in so much naval trade and conquering, to have people that are dedicated to this kind of mythology or this practice. And Karash says that he is going with the Qunari that are coming by. And we soon meet a Qunari seer who reveals the tablet is brought on by fire, meaning that you have to use fire in order to be able to accurately read it. We also learn a bunch of things, but I'm going to simplify it down to the Dragonborn are Qunari that have like the blood of dragons. And it is an ancient position of honor, not simply just a warrior, which is what current Qunari culture would have us believe with regards to Taash and their abilities. And in fact, by ancient Qunari tradition, that Taash should be honored as a member of the Qun. If we embrace Raveni culture, then Taash will try to recruit more Qunari to the Lords of Fortune and try to embrace this ancient Qunari history. If instead we encourage them to follow the Qunari tradition, then they decide that they must protect the Qunari from the coming storm, which is what originally these dragon-blooded Qunari were intended to do, is defend the Qun against the coming storm. Then later on, we have a final scene with both Isabella and Bellara, which is not unlocked until you've also finished Bellara's quest line, so a little bit of a spoiler here. We get drinks. We have the Lords of Fortune. We go get some drinks. It's fantastic. Isabella and Taash are telling a story about when Taash and Isabella fought a giant snake statue that came to life. It's very much let me tell you about this, and then Taash did this, and then I did this, and it's delightful details. Isabella accidentally calls Taash she, and Bellara gives her a bit of a look of like, oh, you messed up, but I don't want to correct you because I'm Bellara, and you're Isabella, and are terrifying. Isabella then catches herself and says that she's pulling a Barav, and goes off and does 10 push-ups. And we ask what that's about. Isabella then explains that they often don't have time for full apologies, but if negative things or offenses kind of bubble up, then that can really hurt morale. So the Lords of Fortune have designed this kind of tradition of if you mess up or offend somebody, you do this as a sign of repentance if you don't have time, or it's not necessarily the time or place in order to go into a full apology. So it is an acknowledgement and an apology without necessarily like dipping into all of the different emotional reactions that might be necessary. And as a result, they often do this to show remorse and then kind of move on. And I am obviously not a non-binary individual, so I don't know if this is a correct or a good response. I imagine it would vary from person to person, but I like this element of storytelling. I like that this element of culture, and we also hear that Isabella and the Lords of Fortune have taken on non-binary members before, and I just thought that it was super cool. And then you can also ask Isabella, why do you care about this? Like, why is this something that you catch yourself on and you're going into this? And Isabella says, well, I learned a lot about family back in Kirkwall, and as a result, I want to protect and care for my family however I can, and that means admitting to your mistakes. And then this scene ends with Isabella and Taash continuing on the story, only to realize that Bellara has eaten the last of Tosh's favorite snacks. Bellara apologizes and then pulls a Barav as the scene fades. Yes, Dana.
I would like to clarify that Isabella learned a lot about family in Kirkwall in my playthrough and your playthrough, Storm.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah.
In Matt's playthrough, Isabella learned nothing.
Yeah.
Matt loves to ignore anybody from Antiva. That's just what Matt does. He doesn't like Antivans in his games.
I don't know. There was a hot moment when I was thinking about going for the other assassin in my crew. Just saying, but the other crow in my crew. So
Lucanus,
yeah.
If I didn't accidentally lock in Harding, Lucanus would have been my snap pick so fast.
Accidentally locked. Harding's great though. Although
Harding is great. I love that storyline.
Harding's relationship with Taash though is amazing.
So good. So good.
I only take Taash and Harding out together, and during Harding during Tosh's companion quest will like be defending Taash to like no end, and it is so much fun. They're so much fun together. It's a fantastic relationship. I actually regret getting into a relationship with Nev, because Nev and Lucanus will also form a relationship if you don't form a relationship with one of them. And so I definitely regret not seeing what that one would have been like, because the Taash and Harding one is so good. So.
Hello, old friend.
Gets to the questions.
Hello, old friend. Let's meet for tea after the match, shall we?
Sure.
So what I did this week, instead of finishing the companion quest that I was supposed to finish, was finish up the Grey Warden storyline out in the Hosberg wetlands in the form of the quests Something Wicked and Something's Coming. So back in the Hosberg wetlands, the Wardens are doing their best to defend the town of Lavendel. Evka is in charge now because she's awesome, and the first Warden sucked and is dead. There is a giant horde of Darkspawn on the way, and they need help. So who do they go to? They go to Rook, because they can handle like the random band of Darkspawn, but like this is a true Darkspawn horde, and so they're gonna need help. So they have like these 3 different like points set up that will like call out when a Darkspawn horde is on the way, and you have to rush and go help and destroy that bit of the Darkspawn horde. So we go off and we kill a lot of Darkspawn. Success, good job, team. After that is done, Antoine hears spooky talking in the Blight that isn't from the old Blight or from the gods, but something different. He's totally not going insane. Trust him. He says that the gods changed the Blight, but that has even been changed since then beyond what they probably expected. He tells us that something massive is out in the wetlands, and then gives us a bunch of bombs to go blow it up. So we do. We blow up the biggest Blight bill you ever done see, and then we go back to Lavendel, and we find Antoine and Evka like having a sweet moment under a tree with like flowers blooming under it. And they're like, so like flowers are blooming here? Wasn't this like all blighted and stuff? And they're like, yeah. So apparently like after destroying that awful giant blight boil, like life is coming back to Lavendel. And then they went on to talk about how after they kill these last 2 archdemons, there won't be any need for the Wardens. And what are we going to do as a Grey Warden? We can say, oh, this is awesome, or I'm always a Grey Warden. And they're like, some of the Wardens will hang up their swords and others will continue the fight, but we won't be needed after the final archdemons are dead, which was, I thought, pretty cool. Like, we're wrapping up the Grey Wardens storyline. The need for the Grey Wardens is over, because the only way to kill an archdemon is with a Grey Warden, but if there are no more archdemons, then there is no more need for the Wardens, which I thought was super duper cool. So yeah, that was that quest line. I'm not sure if you guys have got to
I
those
love
yet,
this quest line.
Yeah.
I'm on the second half of it.
You were saying, Stormrage?
I just love the idea of like, oh, this is what they can do when it's done. Like when the Blight is defeated, or when these archdemons are defeated, the things that the Wardens have done for so long, now it's, oh, we can actually not only just defeat the Blight, but heal the land that has been scarred. And I really, really like that.
I really enjoyed that that there was no moment of, oh, how do we maintain our political power? It was just, we're almost done. The mission is almost complete. We're almost there, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, but I can't wait to find out. I thought it was just so cool that like this major force in Thedas is gonna wrap it up. There's no more need for them. Like, there will still be Darkspawn, there will still be the need for the fight, but there'll be no more need to become Grey Wardens, to do the joining, to ingest the Darkspawn blood and to take that risk and to eventually be driven insane by the Blight. There's no more need for that. So there will always be those fighting against the Darkspawn, which will continue to exist, but there will be no more need to kill the archdemons because they will all be destroyed. Honestly, I thought it came out of nowhere in a really interesting and cool way, and I actually went back and watched it again, and I was like, what, did I get that right? Super cool quest line.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Much.
First good, please, there, Storm Rage.
I love that I got to be a necromancer in a necromancer's house fighting skeletons. The flavor and the lore of that was so good, because it was me, other necromancer, and I think I had Lucanus in this specific fight. Wonderful. Absolutely no notes. Absolutely delightful time. And then I'm going to have a second good here. There is a side quest fight where you are in the Ravani coast and you're hunting this thunder dragon or this lightning dragon. And the lightning dragon kind of has two different phases where it'll go up onto this cliffside and it'll breathe lightning down at you, and then it'll kind of like let loose this gust. And then I saw the lightning crackles on the ground, and because it's on the coastline, there's large sections of it that are water and like ankle deep water. And I was like, oh, wouldn't that be fun if like that conducted electricity during this fight? And then I looked at my health bar and I went, why am I dying? Why is my health bar always empty? And I realized, oh, because the water's conducting the electricity. That thing that I thought about but moments ago is actually happening. So I had to get on dry land in order to like fight during those sections until the electricity disappeared. And that was just a super fun mechanic. And I thought it was really well implemented. Yeah, Dano.
It'd be super cool if that happened in the fights in Dragon Age Inquisition as well. Sarcasm, because it did.
Well, I wouldn't know.
I love so much that you are enjoying this game so much that you are engaging in this part of the game. I think it's like that. I was not at all being snarky, but I love that you now get to engage in how fun the dragon fights are. I'm so glad that this game brought that out of you. It's so cool, because Inquisition definitely didn't vibe with you. I think the open world nature of it just didn't click. But I think it's so much fun that now you're getting to experience like what's so fun about these dragon fights. So that's It's so much fun. So cool. What's our not so good, Matt?
I had another one written, but it doesn't matter because we didn't get a Manfred stealth section. I'm still upset about that. What's the best good?
The best good is obviously I can't defeat the gods if my friends are sad. Everyone knows that. And I'm so glad.
I do love the fact it's like, well, we got like 3 weeks before this eclipse happens. Let's we got some stuff we need to wrap up while we're here, while we're thinking about it. Like, just asking.
Yeah, and then
it's like,
if you progress the story a little too far, the main quest is like, your friends are still a little sad. Are you sure you want to go and do this? Because if you do, you're going to get to a point of no return. And I'm like, oh, I don't. I want to make sure my friends are happy. I love it so much. I love my friends.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number.
I will ask myself 3 questions.
Storm Rage, what are you liking so far?
So many things. One of my favorite things about this week in particular was I liked that Taash's mom and the relationship between Taash and their mom wasn't an ignorant or a hateful, and there wasn't like intentional malice behind their mistakes. It was a genuine miscommunication of like Taash's mom not understanding what Taash was saying or what Taash was going through, trying desperately, and Taash doing the same thing because it felt human. Is it the most happy and the most perfect portrayal of that? I don't think so. But it felt really human, and I liked how earnest it was, and I liked that there wasn't like an anger or intent behind that necessarily. And it was just like, oh, I'm learning, and it's taking me longer than it probably should. Hey, Matt, what are you liking so far?
Sure. Relationships that kind of happen to those you don't pursue in the game. Like we talked about Taash and Harding, like kind of coming a couple. The fact that Emmrich and the guy from the Veil Rangers, the older, I forget his name, Strife.
Strife.
Yeah, Strife from the Veil Rangers go out on a date, and Emmrich asks you, "What should we do on this date?" And it's just like it's great. I love it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the fact that like life happens with or without you in this game is great. It's perfect. I love it. Dano, what are you liking so far?
Real quick about the dating scene. When Taash and Harding start dating, Taash wants to give something to Harding and asks Rook what Taash should give Harding. And you can say cheese because Ferelden's love cheese. And she'll go, okay. And then she goes out and buys her a big old wheel of cheese. And Harding is like, oh my gosh, how did you know? This is like my favorite cheese from my homeland, and this, that, and the other thing. And you could tell that Taash actually put a lot of thought into it. And then they go off and they enjoy the cheese together. It's so wonderful.
To be fair, if somebody came up and gave me a big wheel of cheese, I would love them forever.
Yeah.
It was truly a thoughtful moment of like where as Rook, you're like, I don't know, cheese, because making fun of Ferelden's, and then Taash took that seriously and goes off and like researches the cheese of Harding's homeland and it's really great.
That's really good.
Yeah. I changed what I'm liking so far to kind of like piggyback on what Storm Rage said, actually. So I think there was a genuine attempt to give like a non-binary storyline. And I can't say as a cis white guy, like I can say that I thought it was, from my point of view, I thought it was well done. I don't know if it is or not. I can't say from like if as like a true non-binary person what their feelings would be about it, but I at least like that they they wanted to tell the story, and they give you the option in game to play a non-binary character and to have true thoughts about like how you approach that. You have actual like as an NB character, you get to kind of say, you know, oh, well, I never actually struggled with my identity. I've always known this. Or, no, this was really, really hard for me. I didn't know how to handle it, and I struggled. Or, I'm still... So it gives you options. And, like, if nothing else, at least playing the character has, like, it does let you truly kind of put yourself into a different pair of shoes. Lets you kind of truly role play a character. I think that's fascinating and interesting. And is it perfect? I can guarantee you it's not. I can guarantee you there are missteps and it's probably clunky and that there are probably a million ways to criticize it. But I also respect the attempt, and I also respect that they did it. And you know what? I would bet that they would have made a lot more money if they didn't. And so a tip of the hat for that as well, for also kind of like being like, yeah, this is a story we want to tell. And so we're going to tell the story. And, you know, did it kill the Dragon Edge franchise? It might have.
That's terrifying to think about, but you're not wrong.
But I'm glad they did it, and I think that Taash's story is great. I love Taash's story. I love Taash as a character. They are truly a confused person who is just leaving home. Like, they're a teenager. They're a teenager who is leaving home, attempting to find themselves, and being that awkward teen that so many of us have been, right? Arguing with our parents, not understanding their point of view, not wanting to know where they're coming from, and then having parents who also don't understand us, and all of everything that goes into it. It's so messy. It's so interesting. And Taash is a messy character, and they're fun for that. Like, I think, and they were intentionally written that way. I don't think they were accidentally written cringe. I think they were written as like a young person leaving home for the first time and trying to be themselves. I think that's super cool. I love Taash as a character. Absolutely think Taash is fantastic. What are you struggling with, Matt?
Not knowing when quests are going to be walkie-talkie quests or like actiony, like go find a thing and attack things quests makes it really kind of hard to budget time when I'm like doing like. It's like I figure, it's like, oh, this is gonna be an actiony. I'm gonna do some actiony stuff. Oh, I'm walking and talking, and I'm going to a different spot, walking and talking, and I'm like, oh, okay.
There is an indicator. It's really subtle though. If when you go to a location and it says begin conversation, that's the walkie-talkie. If it is begin quest, that's the action one. And it is the exact same font, and it's in the exact same place and exact same style. It's just the very, very slight difference that it took me a while to notice.
All right, so it's not just me. Got it.
No.
Stormrage, what are you struggling with?
There was a quest that I saw the kind of like presentation for during Taash's companion quest.
The shields?
And I wanted to do it. Yes, the shields, but you can't. You're not allowed to do it.
No.
And I wanted to do it so bad. And it was like, no, you can't do it yet. And I went, fine, I'm coming back later and I'm doing it. And I did it, and it was great. And I had a good time doing that puzzle, but I was so mad I couldn't do it the first time.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
No, I don't think I did do Emmrich's one.
Because there's one where like there's a room with like 3 lights, and one of the lights is behind a locked door that you have to go past another area to unlock the door to get back to the other area to finish the puzzle.
Oh, yes, I did do that. Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you light all the braziers out in the Ravani Highlands? That fourth one that was hidden? I found the 3 easily. There was a 4th one. It took me a while to find that 4th brazier. Yeah.
I had to YouTube that one.
Anything good in that chest? I didn't do though.
Dano, what are you struggling with?
Knowing when I will return to a location. So this is actually, again, an accidental piggyback on you, because like sometimes you don't return to a location. And sometimes you do return to a location. And so when you're not going to return to a location, you want to make sure you get all the goodies. But if you are going to return to it, you can just kind of like pick up the goodies along the way and then come back later, because there'll probably be some side quests in there and there won't be any bad guys, and you'll have more time to kind of like be thoughtful about finding stuff. And so you don't always know when you're going to return to a location. So sometimes it's kind of hard to know when you need to really clear out an area or when you can kind of just move through the zone and then come back to it.
Oh, like Bellara's quest, where it's like you can't get there unless you go or in Bellara's quest. In the
yeah. I think Emmrich has one as well. So there are a couple where it's like the first time you go to when you try to go to rescue the griffins, like you only get to go to that zone once, and so if you don't get all of the sweet loot that one time, you don't get it. So there are a couple times where like a zone you don't get to return to it, and there might be a way in game to know when you can return and when not, but I don't know what it is, because when you are in like a story quest, it shuts down fast travel. So like in the zones where you don't get returned, there's no fast travel points. But if you are in a zone for a quest, and you're in the middle of the quest, it will also shut down fast travel points. So you don't always get to know. Yeah. What surprised you about the game, Matt?
How much I really just enjoy talking about this game with my friends. It's great. It's so much fun. Like the whole discussion we had last week about like the ancient elven gods and like the and how Solus is mad that they're doing it wrong. It's like, well, get over it, buddy. It's like I just like the fact that we had that discussion, and I just like the fact that like it's the game is light and entertaining enough, but it's also has these big threads that we can talk about that is super cool with the lore. I love it. Story range, what surprised you?
I've finished every side quest in the game, to my knowledge. All of my merchants are fully leveled up. All of my ranks are fully maxed out. I hit max level, which is level 50, by the way.
Ooh,
and a lot of these things are not things I expected, because there is still a decent amount of main quests left to go. And I think next week is when we hit the point of no return for a lot of the final stuff. But pretty cool. I just didn't expect to engage with this game as much as I have. And my second bonus surprise, because you can't stop me now, is there is a conversation that is just a side conversation that's happening while you're moving about with Emmrich and Harding, if you have romanced Harding. And I will speak about this in as age-appropriate language as possible, but it will be hinting at some innuendo if that is the case. This will be a short thing, so maybe 60 seconds or so. Brief background on Harding. So Harding and Rook have difficulty physically touching because of the lyrium that is kind of coursing through Harding's veins. It kind of creates like this drunken effect with Rook whenever they physically touch. So Emmrich asks, how is it going? And Harding at first responds, much better. I'm getting a much better control over my magic, and it doesn't happen as often. And also, like, you don't always need physical touch to do things. And Emmrich goes, well, what do you mean by that? And Harding goes, well, there's lots of options. And you don't spend your summers in a barn in Ferelden without learning a thing or two. And I dropped, and it was delightful and one of my favorite kind of conversations that just happened on the side.
That's really, really funny. There, if you date Nev, there's a conversation between Nev and Harding where Harding's like, oh, it's so sweet that you and Rook are together. And Nev's like, yeah, I guess so. Thanks. Yeah. And she goes, well, now you get to do detective work together. It's Bellara. Sorry, Bellara, not Harding. It's Bellara. And Nev goes, yeah, but I mean, we could do that anyway. And then Bellara goes, yeah, but now it's romantic. What
surprised you?
Yeah, I saw you petting dogs, so I thought I could help get in there. The biomes are all so fantastic and interesting. They're just great. I absolute no notes. I love kind of all the different biomes. I think they're super interesting and super fun. And I honestly didn't expect it to be that good. Even like starting the game, like when we first went into Docktown, I thought it was a little bit. I didn't like love the intro necessarily. I thought it was kind of a weird intro. I think it's perfect. It's great, and the bounds are super duper fun.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Storm Raid, sell the game to a friend.
Manfred, best Fred. Manfred, best Fred. Manfred, best Fred.
Matt.
How many liches does it take to get to the center of the necropolis? No one will ever know.
Good. That's really good, Matt. That was a win. As for me, I'm not joking. Go buy this game.
It's good.
It's a good game.
Very good.
Good game.
Next week, we become a hero of the Veilguard in Dragon Age the Veilguard. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to our Twitch subs, thanks to our patrons, and thanks to our YouTube listener, Clyde. You can find the link to our Discord and links to support the podcast in the description of this episode.
And Dragon Age the Veilguard is a game, and games are meant to be fun. I'm tired.
Yeah. And don't forget, Manfred, best Fred. Manfred, best Fred. Manfred, best Fred. Baby.
Excited hiss.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine not saving Manfred. What an insane decision.
I mean, become immortal, save your buddy. Become immortal, save your buddy.
Also, I just love that the choice itself, while admittedly I'm super attached to Manfred, so it didn't really feel like much of a choice for me, is a genuinely fascinating one.
Oh, yeah,
because
100%.
I think the argument of you can't save Manfred if you want to become a lich because you'd have too much attachment, and that breeds a lot of bad decisions later on, is a valid one. It didn't feel like a fake kind of tension created just for the sake of making that choice more difficult. It felt pretty earnest and true to the world, and I thought would be a difficult one for Emmrich, for a man who has talked about how much he fears death. And I do find it a little ironic that he kind of gives up his immortality to give Manfred a second chance at life, giving immortal life for a second life. I just it was a really well done and fun story.
I can't wait to play through it. I was kind of unsure on Emmrich in the same way I was unsure about Nev, because they didn't necessarily feel fantasy to me.
Yeah.
But I also think that was kind of a conscious choice also to kind of because in this game, Orlais and Ferelden are very much, and Ferelden especially, very much backwater.
Yeah.
And so, we just aren't aware of civilization necessarily, right? It's just,
right.
It's like living in, Germania versus living in London versus living in Rome, right? In the time of the, Roman Empire or whatever, right? Where it's yeah, we have our own civilizations and kingdoms and kings and everything, but it's different than living in London, which might be Orlais, right? Which is a little bit more civilized, a lot of Rome, or just living in the center of civilization, Rome or China, if you want, depending which way you want to go with it, in the Mongolians. But I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
It also actually explains how you were treated as a Ferelden in Dragon Age 2. It was oh, these Fereldens are just sticking around everywhere. They just get they're like wet dogs. And it's just
they just love the outdoors and cheese. And you know what? 2 for 2 on that one, actually.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's good.
As a non-Ferelden, same, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheese and dogs. I love cheese and dogs. What else?
Yeah, I feel like that's just the correct take.
Right.
All right, that's it for this week. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.
No, bye-bye. I was wrong. I was going to go back to the Dragon Age, the Veilguard is a game and games are meant to be fun. So my brain, I was like, Matt has to say something before I say something. And we would have been caught in an eternal loop. And it was 100% my fault.
It would have been like, what were the name of the two Star Wars characters in the new Star Wars movie? Like the evil Jedi and the good Jedi lady.
Kylo Ren and Rey.
And Rey.
Yeah. It been like Kylo Ren and Rey at the end of the last movie where like Kylo Ren he sacrificed himself for Rey, and then Rey could have sacrificed herself for Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren and they could have been forever. It could have been like 30 hours of them just like sacrificing their life for the other person forever. Yeah, it would have been that.
That still would have been better. That still would have been better than one, the knife scene, and two, the scene on like of the horses on the Star Destroyers. The knife scene is like one of the worst. The knife scene is one of the worst moments.
Are you talking about when you say the knife scene? Do you mean when they pick the MacGuffin and they go to the crashed Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yes, this will point by holding it in a seemingly random position against a ship that has been there for decades, that has crashed against the rocks and undoubtedly been moved a significant amount, and yet it points to the perfect room first try."
Yes.
Great. I just wanted to make sure that that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that and the horses on the Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
and somehow Palpatine returned. Honestly, that movie might be so bad it might be just wrap around to being good again.
No, it is 100%. It is so bad it's good. I stand by that. It is so bad it's good. I think of all the new trilogy. I think the first two are just legitimately not good movies. The last one is so bad it's good. It is. Nope, it wraps all the way back around.
That's a crazy take.
Yep, it wraps all the way back around. I was laughing at that movie out loud in the theater, having the time of my life. That movie is so bad it's good.
Okay, we need to have a longer chat about this because I think episode number 7, fine, not extravagant, not fantastic,
it was
but
a New
solid.
Hope. It was a New Hope redone. It was remixed New Hope. It's all it was.
8, I liked a lot. There are sections of it that you can remove and cut entirely, and it doesn't change at all. I'd probably cut those. But like broadly speaking, I thought that they took some bold calls, and I liked that they did that. 9 is.
So you're saying for 8, you just cut Canto Bite and we're good.
Yeah, pretty much.
The slowest spaceship chase in the world.
That I liked. I
actually liked that. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, same.
Boop,
yes, 100%. 100%. That part ruled.
Yeah, you're wrong, Dano. 2 against 1. You're wrong.
No, because also like they're like so episode 8 is episode 5 but backwards, and it works except for the Canto Bite section.
I don't know, but I stand by 9 being so bad it's good. I'll stand by that take.
I can believe that, especially like it's like I see it every time on the internet. It's just that bored look like that he has where he says somehow Palpatine returned. Just the look in his eyes, he's dead in his eyes every time I see that.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Who knows
That's
how?
it for this week. We'll next week.
Oh yeah, we're still on podcast. Bye bye.